Hello, welcome to today's edition of Digital Space. My name is David. Today on the show, we're taking a look at LinkedIn. That is LinkedIn. And I'm not alone in the studio as usual. I have the Kachim joining me as always.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And fixing your PC for you today is BJ.
Hi, welcome to the show again today.
All right, then we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll dive right into it. Stay tuned to Digital Space. We'll be right back.
Some years ago, Apple was just a fruit. Tweeting was something only birds did, and phones got really smart. As the owner of the phone, are you smarter? These are signs that our world has gone digital. Imagine this. If Facebook were to be a country, it would be more than 5 times bigger than Nigeria, with over 1 billion registered users. There are over 31 billion searches on Google every month, over 100 million active mobile telephone lines in Nigeria alone, online sales in Nigeria between 2011 and 2012 reaching $3 billion. There are too many incredible statistics to show that the next big thing for us as a generation is not the oil wells of the Niger Delta, but the vast potentials and resources the digital space offers. Digital Space is a production of Cherry Brooks Media.
Digital Space, making ICT knowledge popular. LinkedIn is a social networking website for people in professional occupations. Founded in December 2002 and launched on May 5th, 2003, it is mainly used for professional networking. As of June 2013, LinkedIn reports more than 259 million users in more than 200 countries. If LinkedIn were to be a country, it would be almost twice the size of Nigeria in terms of population. Nearly every major employer now relies on it to post jobs and find new employees, even right here in Nigeria. But we must state this: LinkedIn is gradually becoming one of the biggest scam sites in Nigeria. We have followed some of the things that are happening on LinkedIn, and we are so disappointed to announce that it is one huge scam going somewhere to happen right now. I mean, we've seen quite a number of very fake profiles, people photoshopping themselves in front of some schools from only God knows where, people making claims of things and claiming to be who they are not. BJ?
Yes, absolutely. Back where I went for a little while, I went out of the country for a while there. There's a place that you can get the degree from any university, Ivy League, no matter what. And these degrees can also be verified for a period of 1 month. And if you can do that within that 1 month, go get yourself a job. Now, a point for employers: when you hire someone with all this certification and all these abilities, just try to get them to do something in line of the job you're going to give them. That tells you the competence of this person. And of course, if they can't do it, you know most of the things they've written in there are not true.
The thing with LinkedIn in Nigeria is somehow we tend to bastardize a lot of stuff in Nigeria, and we've gone on to LinkedIn to do that. So a lot of people are going on LinkedIn, they are lying, they're setting up fictitious companies saying, oh, we're into supplying of this, that, something that doesn't even exist. And some people tend to take everything they read online as word. They don't even try to query, they don't try to do anything. Then this said person hires some office somewhere, has a meeting with you, and you're still believing he runs such a company, and from there he fleeces you of money. Some come online and claim they are recruiters for big organizations like the oil companies, and then they set up a brilliant LinkedIn profile and you contact them. They bring all of you to some unnamed location, maybe a hotel somewhere, conduct some kangaroo interview, just ask you some silly questions and then make you pay, say, 3,000 naira, something you wouldn't suspect too much. It's not 30,000, it's just 3,000. But you could be up to 100 or 200 of you people paying that amount, and they make away with your money. There are all types of scams that have been going on around the job thing, because people who are looking for jobs, there are a lot of unemployed graduates in Nigeria,
and they're desperate.
They're desperate, so they listen to anything, just about anything.
They go online and search for anything.
Yeah,
and then when they get this LinkedIn account stating all manner of job openings and all of that, they dive right into it.
I think it's important right now to say something to Nigerians everywhere you are. Don't take everything you see online for what it is. Yes, moving away from this job thing a bit, I've had issues where I've seen things where people are arguing about something, saying, who is better or who is richer between this person, especially people who tend to argue about musicians. They say, I read it somewhere online that this guy is richer, and you're supporting that one. Meanwhile, it's probably a free blog someone wrote somewhere. The fact that you googled and found it doesn't make it standard. So there is nothing you read online that means it's what
just
it
an
is.
Idea.
Yes, it's someone that puts it there. Yeah. So because you saw something on LinkedIn, it doesn't mean that it's standard. LinkedIn doesn't have the time to go around and verify over I think 200 million people they have. Million. Yeah, if they do that, they wouldn't scale. They wouldn't be as big as they are. So don't take everything you see at face value. Make your inquiries, ask questions. Someone runs a company, Google that company. What are people saying about it? Don't go to unknown locations. Don't give people money for just anything. Just be conscious of what you do.
It's alright then. So LinkedIn is being taken over by scammers, so you need to be very, very careful. What do you see there? It's not all about what you see that you take in. You have to filter some of these things. You have to do your research. You have to do a little bit of finding. I haven't said that. LinkedIn is still a very, very viable tool for those who are seeking for a job or those who are seeking for someone to employ. You don't want to discount that. You don't want to do away with LinkedIn just because of scammers. It's still a very potent tool. It is still a very useful tool. And today on the show, we're taking a look at how you can genuinely maximize the use of this tool to get a job or to get someone employed. All right, and we've defined it as a social networking website for people in professional occupation. So in short, LinkedIn, if you're looking for a job or a change of job, is where you should be. And if you already have a profile on there but you haven't kept it up to date, then you are tuning to the right station at the right time. So what do you need to do to maximize LinkedIn? Number one, create a complete profile. Most of the time, most people create half-baked profiles that barely list their experiences and education. Having an incomplete profile is probably the same thing as not having one in the first place. The more complete your profile is, the higher you will appear in searches for prospective employers and the better chances of you getting hired. LinkedIn has a great tool called Profile Strength. It guides you through how robust your profile is and what you need to do to fill in the proper thing, so you can rely on that. So what do you need to do to maximize your LinkedIn account? Number one, create a complete profile. Most people create half-baked profile that barely list their experiences and education. Having an incomplete profile is probably the same thing as not having one in the first place. The more complete your profile is, the higher you will appear in searches by prospective employers and the better chances of you getting hired. LinkedIn has a great tool called Profile Strength. It guides you through how robust your profile is and what you need to fill in as your profile headline, and so you can rely on that. Here are 3 things you should know to have a complete profile. Number one, update your headline. Update your headline. Your headline is the first thing that people see. It is this 2-second overview that states who you are and what you do. You can add any certification after your name, and you can also include your title, the company you work for, and any other highlights about what you do. Number 2, fill in the summary section. The summary section gives a more detailed synopsis about what your current responsibilities are, as well as what you've done in the past. This is your elevator speech, your 60-second ad about who you are. After the headline, the summary is the second most viewed part of your profile, so make sure you invest some time in creating a complete and compelling overview. And number 3, use keywords. Whether you are filling in the headline or the summary, skills, experiences, or education section, make sure you sprinkle the words that you think recruiters will be searching for to find you. Those keywords are important because the more they appear in your profile, the higher the chances of you being found by a prospective employer. For instance, if you are a Visual Basic programmer, you want to sprinkle that all over your profile, your headline, your skill set, and whatever you just don't want to put it there that I'm a programmer. You're a programmer, so what? What are the tools you use in programming? We want to know. So make sure you use the keyword. If you are a brand manager, you want to indicate it. You want to sprinkle the word brand and manager all over your profile. If you are an office administrator, you want to define that. Whatever you do, make sure the keyword that your recruiters will likely use in searching for you is sprinkled around your profile, so it will be easier for people to locate you. Now, those are the 3 things that you must take a look at in completing your profile. Now, once your profile is completed, you also want to do one thing that is very important: upload a professional photo. Make sure you upload a professional picture of yourself. Wear a business attire and your head shot taken at a photo studio if possible. Remember, the first impression counts, and whether you like it or not, people are going to be judging you based on how you present yourself. So dress up and smile as you would in a real job interview. Number 3, make as many connections as you can. Connect to as many people as you can on LinkedIn. It's a multi-level networking thing. So the more people you're connected to, the more visible you become. But
I would say it's important to be connected to people in your field. Don't just look for connections everywhere. If you're a programmer, try to get in contact with programmers, big people. You should know people in your field.
Invite as many colleagues, friends, and people you have a working relationship with to your professional network. You want to have as many connections as possible, or as you possibly can, because a high number of contacts will help you find a couple of jobs. First, the more connections you have, the higher the chances of you being connected to someone who knows someone who has a job for you. That's the real value of LinkedIn. Those degree of separations are even listed on everyone's profile. That is, you have the first degree connection, you have the second degree connection. You see, first, second written there. All those are telling you the degree of connection you have with that person. If you see the second
first degree is when you're directly connected.
Connected.
Second degree is the two of you are directly connected to someone.
Someone who knows someone that knows you. And then the third degree is someone that knows someone that knows someone that knows you. Yeah. So it keeps going right down.
So you should try to get closer to certain people.
Absolutely. I'm connected to Richard Braxton, for instance. I mean, he chats with me directly. I'm a big boy.
Sure. I'm a big.
Sure. All right. Second, give that number of people you're connected to show-ups on your public profile. Anything above 500 connections is not tracked, and simply show up as 500 plus. Once it's beyond 500, they won't tell you it's 501, 503, just a 500 plus. So a really low number might give a recruiter a sign that you are not really plugged into LinkedIn, or you are not really linked into LinkedIn. So you want to make sure you have as many connections as you can get. So the higher the number of connections, the better for you. You can also add contacts using several ways. Number 1, by importing your contacts from your email list. You can do that from your Gmail account, for instance. Number 2, by searching for someone specifically in your search box, you can connect to them. By using people you may know feature. There's a quote and unquote people you may know feature on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I think that feature is pretty accurate.
Yeah, it pops up most of the time. People you may know. You don't want to ignore that. Just connect with them as often as you can.
Desktop version of LinkedIn, on the people you may know list, you keep scrolling. When you go down, if you have a good connection, your internet is good. When you get to the bottom, it keeps going, it keeps dropping down, absolutely. Bringing more people. So don't go away.
And then one question that gets asked a lot is, do I add anyone, or I simply add people that I may know? You want to answer that, Dikachi?
Well, for me personally, from my experience, it's important to add 2 sets of people you know personally, your friends, and then people you want to know. Maybe you want a career in the media. Who are the big influencers in the media? I don't mean just the people you're hearing their voices. There are people you're hearing their voices. There are the influencers, people who are behind the scene running things. You need to find those people out and add them, and then try to get your work out there so they see it. So add all the people you know, and then try to add the people you want to know for where you want to get to.
And then in adding people, don't feel bad when you're rejected. Just take it as one of those things, and then you move on to the next person.
Yeah,
if someone rejects you, the other will probably welcome you.
Well, I mean, you don't buy everything you see in traffic.
Absolutely. So
everybody mustn't add you.
Learn how to handle rejection very well on LinkedIn. Okay, now, the one other thing you want to do is to join interest groups. There are groups on LinkedIn. LinkedIn groups are discussion forums where people with familiar or similar interests can share articles, ask questions, make contacts, and find jobs. By answering questions, they are listed in a specific group. You can establish yourself as a leading expert in that domain. For instance, you know about music. You can begin to write things about music. If you're a motivational speaker, you can begin to throw things out there. You can join some motivational speakers group and begin to make contributions. If you're an IT person, look for your specific field there and begin to throw in articles, write things about your field. If you're an OAP, there's so many groups on LinkedIn that you can join.
To get your thoughts out there.
Absolutely. Just say things. Just express yourself. Let it be a means of. But in doing that, make sure you are accurate about stuff. Don't just begin to throw things in there because you just want to get noticed. Because whether you like it or not, you're going to be judged by that. Your recruiters are going to judge you by the quality of your contributions.
You don't want to be known as that guy that writes crap.
So you want to do your research properly before you throw it in there. So join in interest groups. There are thousands of groups you can join, and you can find something like you like by searching for one in the search bar. LinkedIn also recommends certain groups to join based on your experience. They look at your experience and then they make suggestions for you. Now, also, you need to become a part of the conversation. In addition to being active on specific groups, you can also increase your visibility by becoming part of the social conversation. You can utilize the share and update thing that comes up. Is a feature on LinkedIn. You can share and update. If you have any interesting link or intriguing articles you'd like to share with your connections. You can also follow companies and influencers that you are interested in. For instance, you like Microsoft, you can follow Microsoft. You like Oracle, you can follow Oracle. And then you can like and comment on their updates. They throw things in there every now and then. You can like those updates. You can comment on those updates. Make sure you keep your updates and comment professional and avoid controversial topics such as religion and politics. It might come out to haunt you.
Or even sexuality.
Keep your opinions to yourself as far as religion, politics, and sexualities are concerned.
Yeah, the Mozilla CEO lost his job because of a comment he had made on homosexuality before. So you want to keep that to yourself.
All right. You also want to get recommendations and endorsements. Recommendations are comments, 1 or 2 paragraphs written by one of your LinkedIn connections about your performance and show up on your profile page. This is very, very important. If you have people who you have worked with before or who are your present colleague at work, you want to get them to make honest opinions or write honest opinions on you as a person. Oh, this guy is very nasty when it comes to doing his assignment. That's their opinion. Let them express it. Or this guy is fantastic, is always delivering right on time. Let them put up something about you, good or bad. Just take it in good faith, okay? Don't influence them to put something good about you, because whoever you are will show up when it is time, when it's time for the interview. Your recruiters will find a way around it, and then they know that you are just one of those scammers on LinkedIn. You don't want to do that. Be as real as possible. If they like you for who you are, they will definitely hire you. So try and get recommendations and endorsement from your colleagues. We'll take another break, and when we come back, we'll give you some more tips before we go into Fix My PC. Stay tuned to Digital Space. We'll be right back.
Some years ago, Apple was just a fruit. Tweeting was something only birds did, and phones got really smart. As the owner of the phone, are you smarter? These are signs that our world has gone digital. Imagine this. If Facebook were to be a country, it would be more than 5 times bigger than Nigeria, with over 1 billion registered users. There are over 31 billion searches on Google every month, over 100 million active mobile telephone lines in Nigeria alone. Online sales in Nigeria between 2011 and 2012 reaching $3 billion. There are too many incredible statistics to show that the next big thing for us as a generation is not the oil wells of the Niger Delta, but the vast potentials and resources the digital space offers. Digital Space is a production of Cherry Brooks Media.
Digital Space, making ICT knowledge popular. Welcome back. It's Digital Space, and now we go to tips, tricks, and tweaks. Dikachi.
Yeah, hi, it's Dikachim here. Your normal tips, tricks, and tweaks guy. So my first tip has nothing to do with job. I'm sorry, but I'll still come back to that. The first tip is about the iPhone. If you use an iPhone, you use the iOS 7. Sometimes you have your Twitter account, and people are tweeting different links to different content online, and sometimes you miss it, sometimes you aren't there, but you want to read all those. It's pretty simple on the iOS 7, but many people do not know that. All you have to do is go straight to your browser. When you go to your browser, the Safari browser that comes with your phone, it opens. On the bottom screen you'll see an icon that looks like an open book. Is the bookmark page. You just tap that, and then it opens to the bookmark. It's telling you about bookmarks. But if you look towards the top right hand corner, you will see an art. The Twitter art sign. You'll see that the one you have in your email address sign. Yeah. Once you just touch that, it will load all the links that have been tweeted on your timeline, on your Twitter timeline. It will load all of them, so you can read it straight from there. So you don't have to miss a thing. Maybe you didn't see all the links that were tweeted today. You get it in the night, just go there. All of them will be right there waiting for you to read, so you can share more. Then my second tip has to do with job now. So I'm back to the topic, but it's not LinkedIn. I want to talk about jobs generally. If you want to get a job, personally, I think there are two types of jobs. There are certificate jobs. There are what you can do jobs.
Experience.
Yes, experience, exactly. So if you want to get, especially those what you can do jobs, maybe a musician, maybe an OAP, maybe an actor and all that. While LinkedIn is good and some other job sites are good, it's also important to leverage social media. When I mean social media, I mean Twitter and Facebook especially, and Google Plus as well. All those people who will get you a job in there are using those sites. Try to find them out and follow them. It's helped me. I got my first job through Twitter. You can't believe that. I was just following a lot of internet people, and they tweet. One of them tweeted, "Oh, if you want to work on this." And another thing is, when you follow them, don't ask them to kindly follow back or all those stuff. They are too busy for that, and you appear like one of those other people. Just follow them. Listen to what they are saying. Try to engage in intelligent conversations with them. If you're intelligent enough, they will notice and get back and follow you. And from there, if you get to know them, you can get a job there. So while you're trying to work on your LinkedIn profile, trying to make it good, you should also work on your social media. Like I said earlier on the show, you don't want to be throwing gang signs and using swear words on your social media. You shouldn't be doing that. You should maintain a professional image at all times so that you can get these jobs from these people.
Fix my PC. What do you have for us today?
Well. Like I said, every device always ends up having malfunction.
Hopefully.
Now, we're going to take the major input devices on a computer, which are the keyboard and the mouse.
And now, the touch screen.
Well, now the touch screen. So, this is the thing with that. Normally, the keyboards develop a standard type of error or malfunction where a key just ups and keeps typing itself, or you go to press a key, nothing comes up. Now, I hate to tell you this, most times when these problems come up, it is the user's fault. You have been eating over your computer or spilling droplets and stuff that really did not damage your computers directly.
Or you've exposed it to dust.
Or expose it to a lot of dust, as our country would have it. We are a very dusty country. And then moisture is also in the air, which makes for a bad concoction.
Combination, yeah.
Yes, which if they get underneath the keyboard, they can hamper the keyboard from getting depressed or cause an insulator between the keys and the little plate that they're supposed to be contacting with. Now, the way you fix this, you get a soft brush, like a paintbrush with a feather tip, and brush sideways beneath the keys while the keyboard is still intact. Just brush between the lines back and forth. You will find some debris come out. If that does not fix it, sometimes keyboards would develop electrical problems where in the society we're in, I will always say changing that keyboard is a better option than trying to fix the keyboard. Because if you take a keyboard to be fixed, to any technician. If they know what they need to know, they charge you something more than what you would buy the keyboard for and then replace your keyboard. So, hence, if you go get a keyboard, it's very easy to remove the keyboard and put another keyboard. With the mouse, your mouse cursor starts moving on the screen by itself, going all the way to the corners and to the right, to the left. Sometimes you have a corrupt driver.
And some people go turning their head trying to turn the mouse.
Or there could be a little evil spirit in the computer moving the mouse by itself. No, I'm just kidding. So what you do is, the mouse is a little bit more complicated than the mouse pad, the trackpad we call it. What you do with that is you can, if you know how to get into your computer, with time, oxidation builds on the contact point.
Oxidation.
Oxidation.
Now
yes.
you lost some people.
Well, oxidation is that little film that builds over copper and disturbs it from getting a full contact.
It's a whitish stuff.
Exactly. Sometimes it's even colorless.
Yeah.
You don't see it. It's transparent. What you normally do, the household fix for this, is get an eraser. Something your child takes to school to erase his pencil mistakes. Just get that over that little ribbon, which they call the flex. Take it at the node where the connection occurs. Erase that area. It takes the oxidation off. Put it back. Most times it'll start working. If all else fails,
where do you get that on your mouse?
You have to know how to get into the computer. Now, like I always say, if all else fails, get a technician that is competent and have them do that for you. Now you know what to do. Just tell them this is what you're supposed to do to it. And
I tell you what, a lot of technicians don't like being told what to do.
Well, I know that, but when you give them the suggestion, do it as a suggestion. Okay. You know what you need to know. Just give it to them as a suggestion. When they try everything else, they'll come back to that. Like I always say, all road leads back to me.
To the maintenance guys.
That's right.
All right, then thank you so much. That is how to fix your mouse and keyboard. But you didn't tell us how to fix those touch pads that will not respond on your tablets and most phones now have touch screens.
Most times when a touch screen goes out like that, the oxidation correction can happen with that also, where you just go get the connector, erase it with your eraser.
That means you have to get into the system.
You have to get into it again.
And you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. When some people like do it yourself.
You don't want to do that with any Apple product though.
No. Apple products are very, very specialized. If you can get into an Apple product, I found out, let me tell you this, to take the Apple Pad screen off the, I think it's the Pad 3.
Yeah.
You need magnets. Now, who could know that? Who could know that? Anyway, when you get your pry tool, you can get in there. You learn how to get in there. If you're a do-it-yourself person, go ahead. By all means,
we have
take your time.
received some Apple product that were badly damaged.
Absolutely.
People trying to get into them and they really mess things up.
They rip the cables off.
Oh my word! You don't want to do that.
Google it first.
All right. Or go to YouTube. You see some videos about them.
If it's on YouTube,
it'll come up. So go to
Google
YouTube
it first. See if it's something you can do.
All right.
If you can't, all road leads back to
BJ. All right, it will solve it for you. Thank you so much for listening to Digital Space. We hope you've enjoyed it and you've picked one or two things as lessons today. You don't want to miss next week's edition. It promises to be exciting as usual. And this is David signing out. Do have a lovely week.
Yeah, this is the Kachim signing out. God bless you.
And have a beautiful and great rest of the week.
All right then. Bye-bye.
For more information, reach us on Twitter at DigiSpace Radio, on Facebook, facebook.com/DigiSpace Radio. You may email us, contact@digitalspaceradio.com. Give us a call, 0813-682-9595, 0813-682-9595. Check out our website, www.digitalspaceradio.com for past episodes, tips, tricks, and more.